When do we accept a literary theory? The name's Justin Huyssteen, and today I'll be telling you about this. So let's dive straight into it. When do we accept a theory? When we talk about something like accepting a theory, we don't mean that we don't use any other theory, but rather that we see there being some form of truth or usefulness within that theory. So basically, accepting a theory doesn't mean we're not doing any other theories, how dare you. It means that we are allowing it to have some kind of influence that we can understand and accept, and something that can help us to understand something better. We very much can accept multiple theories. We very, very much can, and that's because, well, there's no one way to look at the world. There are multiple ways to look at the world. So you might say, well, I'm going to look at the world through one specific way. Like, let's just say in terms of some theories, you might say, I'm going to look at it from a Marxist perspective, which would allow you to look at it from a class, wealth, all of that kind of stuff. Or you could say, I'm going to look at it from a feminist perspective, which would then be looking at things like gender, right? So different theories can mix together. You could exclude some, you could include others. There are all sorts of different theories. And having one being accepted doesn't mean that it is the best one. Doesn't mean it's number one, it's number top, right? However, we can be more rigid when it comes to actually accepting one. Accepting doesn't just mean, I like it. Instead, it basically means that we need to take into account coherence and informativeness. These are the two major concepts that we're going to look at now. So, when we're looking at the idea of the coherence of a theory, firstly, you need to know what the word coherence means. Coherence means stuck together. Well, cohere means stuck together. So, a cohesive would be something like glue. Glue is a cohesive. It means that it's something that sticks something else together. So, a theory basically needs to be something that is systematically interconnected, which means that all the parts of it, the different parts of a theory, have to stick together. You can't have a theory that has a bunch of parts that don't work together. That's why theories tend to be quite singular and focused on a specific thing. When it comes to coherence, there's two major things we're going to look at. Basically, it means that the theory mustn't have any contradictions. It mustn't have things within it that counteract parts that are within it. You can't have right and wrong in one thing, right? You can't have dark and light, essentially. That's the idea. You can't have contradictions. You can't have things that go against each other, although those were bad examples. But still, you can't have things that contradict each other. Then also, of course, the principles of the theory must all have a certain unity. Basically, they must all belong towards some kind of unified view of the object of study. So say, if you're going to look at something like Marxism, every aspect of Marxism looks at class. It looks at class, looks at wealth, looks at money, looks at all the things that together make up that thing. These are the two major factors that together make up the coherence of a theory. But let's move on to the next one. While the coherence of a theory is very important, the informativeness of a theory is also quite important. This might seem quite obvious, like it has to be informative, it has to be teaching something, basically. So for a theory to be informative, it has to shed some new light on the object of study. It can't be something that's already been done. And it must not simply repeat descriptions and explanations that exist somewhere else. So pretty much, for a theory to be valuable and to be worth keeping and accepting, basically it needs to be doing something new and not just repeating what other things have done. Then it's not a new theory, is it? It's just, well, it's an old theory in a new package, maybe not even a new package. So ultimately, essentially, it needs to teach you something new. That's all. So this is pretty much how you come to the idea of the acceptance of a theory, about whether or not you should stick to a theory and whether a theory is worth keeping, pretty much. Quite simple. Coherence and informativeness. Two very important pieces of the pie. And that's it. That's all you need to know for this one. So if you have any further questions, you can put them in the comments. Also, of course, if you like this or found it informative, educational, all those other words, you can like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the usual things. And so, yeah, that's about it for today. This is a quick and easy one. So, have a great day further and goodbye.